All right, so the Disventure Camp Season 5 cast recently got revealed. It's fans versus favorites, and the favorites are quite interesting, so I'm going to talk about them. Frankly, I see the favorites cast get largely overhated. I think it's a pretty good cast, and we'll get into that. And oh boy, can't wait to see him in like a year, because we still have Season 4 and the Season 2 reboot. Remake or whatever. Uh, but yeah, let's go over these cast members because I think a lot of them are really good choices. All right, number one, Alec. Oh boy, I like Alec. I want them to bring him back to how he was in season one because Alec. Oh man, in All Stars they took everything I liked about him took it away to make him just some whiny sob story character. And in season 5, I really hope that they don't do that. He I'm glad Alec and Fiore are back because frankly their whole dynamic did not end in a satisfying way in All Stars, especially considering that they barely reacted. So I'm glad the two of them are back together. Alec has a lot of potential within this cast. I can see him having a dynamic with Rosa because Rosa's like a good parent and Alec is not a good parent. I really hope he has some sort of friendship with Spencer because those two would be so fun to watch interact. So yeah, Alec, he's one that I have the highest hopes for, but he's also one that I'm the most nervous about because this is Odd Nation Cartoons. They could just do what they did in All Stars with him, and I would be so disappointed. But overall, I think Alec is a solid addition to this cast. Tom. Why is Tom here? I mean, come on. He has his own spin off show, and he merged twice. He doesn't need more screen time. Why? This If Tom makes it anywhere near merge, I'm going to go into a rage. I Tom is not a good pick for this cat. Tom is one of the few picks that I genuinely hate and wish he wasn't here because there's so many other good things they could have done. But they chose Tom. Well, hey, it could be worse. We could have got Jake. So, at least there's that. Fiore. Um, I've already said Fiore and Alec. I hope they do some stuff. Fiore, I think. Yeah, I'm really hoping that they last longer because they got eliminated decently early in All Stars. So I'm just excited to see them again because Fiore is a character I enjoy watching. Gabby. Gab. Honestly, I'm going to predict it. They're pre merge. Gabby's a pre merge boot. Without Ellie or Gret in this cast, I don't see a lot of what they could do. I mean, they could get 8th place again, which would be really funny, but I don't see a lot of things with this favorites cast. Oh, yeah, I should say, I'm assuming that the teams are going to be fans versus favorites. So I'm assuming that the favorites are like one team. And within this team, I don't see a lot of interactions or dynamics that Gabby could have. I mean, maybe with Lake or Natalia, but Natalia could have a fun dynamic with anyone. So yeah, I think Gabby is going to be early pre-merge boot. I don't think she's lasting very long in this cast, but she's for this cast she's fine enough. She's a good pre-merge boot, especially since in both of her seasons she made 8th, which is nice. On the season 2 cast, Rosa. Yeah, I'm glad Rosa came back, especially since they weren't an All Stars. Um, I hope they do more with her because as much as I like Rosa, in OG season 2 she doesn't have a lot going on. it makes me excited for the season 2 remake because I hope they at least try to make Rosa more interesting. But that's the season 2 remake, and we're talking about the season 5 cast. Yeah, Rosa have a fun dynamic with Alec, have a fun dynamic with Fiore. Rosa's just a character who I'm glad is back. I can see them doing pretty well in this season. Aiden. Aiden is a character who I'm not mad about. I see a lot of people on the subreddit being mad that Aiden's back, and I don't get it. I'm excited to see Aiden back in a season where they aren't inexplicably tied to relationship drama. Seriously, All Stars did them so dirty. Like, but yeah, I do think they have a good chance of not making it very far. I want to see them interact with other people again, especially Lake, since I really like their friendship, and since Lake got eliminated so early, they didn't get to do that a lot in All Stars. But speaking of Lake, Lake's also back. Ever since the cast was revealed to be fans versus favorites, Lake was one of those people that pretty much everyone knew was going to be in this season. They had a pretty decent arc in OG season 2, which for that season is hard to come by, and they got eliminated really early in All Stars, so they still have a lot of potential for storylines. So, yeah, they were pretty much obviously going to be in this season. I'm worried that they might become just a generic female protagonist, but season 4 has done a good job of avoiding placing people into that character trope. So, I think she has a good chance to be interesting in this season. I hope she's interesting in this season because I do like Lake as a character. We'll see when Disventure Camp 5 comes out in like a year. Allie, no? No. Why? Allie is not a favorite by any definition of the word. In real life, she is. I don't think anyone has Allie as a favorite. I think a lot of people don't like her. And in universe, her whole plot in All Stars was that she has a lot of haters who think she didn't deserve to be in All Stars. Granted, that plot was so bad that it's likely that the writers just completely forgot about it because it's non existent. But I have a theory about Allie that they needed another early boot for the favorites, and everyone wanted Tess to be in this season, but the writers knew if they brought Tess back and made her pre-merge again, the fans would go into a rage and be very angry. So instead of doing that, they brought Allie back, who would be a much safer pre-merge boot that people wouldn't be as angry about. But yeah, Tess should have been in this season. Like, really? Allie? Allie is another character I'm pretty sure is pre-merge. Alright, Benji. He's fun. He's just a fun character who I want to see more of on my screen. Because I like him. I liked him in season 4, and I have a feeling I'm going to like him in this cast. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about him. I just like him. He has a lot of good potential that I want to see. I want to see him be done more with. All right, Spencer. Ooh, Spencer was a character a lot like Lake, where once the theme of this season was revealed, everyone knew he was going to be in that cast. And I'm excited for him. I'm a pretty big fan of Spencer. I will say, I really hope that he doesn't have another romance related arc because 2 was enough. Like, we don't need more of that. His whole thing in season 4 is realizing that he doesn't need a man or woman or relationship to hold him up. Like, I just want to see him act as just a strategic guy, and I want to see him interact with Alec because that would be a fire dynamic. In fact, I think he would be fun to watch interact with all of the older contestants. That's something I can say with like all of the season 4 characters, that they would just be fun to watch interact with other people. But like, if Spencer has another romance related arc, I am going to metaphorically jump off a hypothetical bridge. So excited for Spencer. Hope he doesn't do more romance stuff. Can't wait to see him. Natalia, she's fun. That's it. I think she's fun. I'm glad she's here. She's definitely a character who's massively underrated, and I think she can be a lot of fun in this cast. So yeah, I don't know. I just think she's a good pick to be in the favorites. So now we have the mystery spot, and I'm not fully up to date because I don't have Twitter, but I do know that this is one of the remaining 7 in DC4, and a lot of people are hypothesizing that it's going to be Isabel, and frankly, I really hope it is Isabel because they're the most interesting character who could be in the season. Isabel, if Isabel is in this season, which I'm gonna go with, she could have a fun dynamic exploring her friendship with Natalia more because their friendship got so little screen time on season 4 that it might as well be glossed over completely. Fiore hates nuns and Isabel is a nun, which would also be very funny. Isabel is also, just a funny character. They're both funny and strategic, which would is just fire character. Isabel would easily be the most good character. I'm also seeing people say that it could be Logan or Anastasia, which I think would be far less interesting picks for this cast, mainly because why would we have Logan when we have Tom? We don't need 2 himbos. On Anastasia feels like they have like a fully like completed story and that they don't need to return, whereas Isabel is just a character who could benefit a lot from returning and benefit the cast from returning. So yeah, I think the last spot is going to be Isabel. And yeah, so those were my thoughts about this cast. I think there's a lot of potential here, and it's super overhated. But there are some duds, like Tom and Allie, but I do think that this cast holds a lot of potential, and I can't wait for season 5. After once DC4 and the DC2 remake are done, I will watch this season because I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it. But anyways, that's pretty much the end of it. That's the end of this video, and see you around next time.